Hello, and welcome to this health promotion presentation on acetaminophen. This presentation will cover important information to keep you safe and prevent unintentional overdose from ingesting too much acetaminophen. Let's first discuss what is acetaminophen. Acetaminophen is a popular over-the-counter medication that has been around since the 1890s. Acetaminophen is also known as Tylenol and is commonly abbreviated as APAP. Acetaminophen is frequently used to treat mild pain and fevers. Other uses for acetaminophen include cold and flu symptoms, sleeplessness, arthritis pain, sinus problems, and menstrual cramps. So why is learning about acetaminophen significant? Acetaminophen can be found in over 600 medications, including over-the-counter and prescriptions. It is estimated that 50 million people use a medication containing acetaminophen each week. It is important to understand which medication products contain acetaminophen to prevent ingesting too much and causing harm to vital organs in your body. Why is this information important for you to understand? Well, with the rising cost of healthcare, more and more people are using over-the-counter products to treat illnesses. Medication labels have become more confusing to read, making it difficult to determine the contents of a medication. Because of this, you might be ingesting multiple medications that contain acetaminophen and are at risk for various health problems, some which can be fatal. While you are admitted to the hospital, pain medication containing acetaminophen may be prescribed. Once you leave the hospital, the recovery process can be overwhelming. Adding on a pain medication like Percocet or Vicodin that can cause confusion or forgetfulness, this can make monitoring medications extremely complicated. As we go through this presentation, I want you to think about the medications you are currently taking. Ask yourself, are you taking too much acetaminophen? These are the objectives for this presentation. I want you to learn what a safe dose of acetaminophen is, how to read medication labels to determine if it contains acetaminophen, and then be able to determine how much acetaminophen a medication contains. This will allow you to confidently read medication labels and understand the contents of a medication. As stated previously, acetaminophen can be found in over 600 medications. This is a list of a few of over-the-counter medication and prescription medications that contain acetaminophen. As you can see, some medications use the brand name Tylenol, others use the abbreviation APAP. It is important to understand whether it says acetaminophen, Tylenol, or APAP, it's all the same medication. For many years, acetaminophen has been considered a safe and harmless medication. It is safe and harmless when you use the medication appropriately, following manufacturer instructions, and are using therapeutic doses. At higher doses, acetaminophen can cause liver failure and even be potentially fatal. Before taking a medication, determine if it has acetaminophen in it, and never take multiple medications that contain acetaminophen. Always follow the medication label administration instructions. What is a safe dose of acetaminophen? The U.S. Food and Drug Administration recommends not exceeding 4,000 milligrams of acetaminophen in a 24-hour period from all sources, so this includes any and all prescription and over-the-counter medications. New regulations now limit prescription medications to 325 milligrams of acetaminophen per tablet. As of today, there are no current regulations limiting the amount of acetaminophen for over-the-counter medications. Some over-the-counter medications contain 325 milligrams, some contain 500 milligrams, and some may contain more, so it's important to know how to read medication labels to determine how much acetaminophen it contains. Here is an example of a prescription medication label. As you can see, it contains hydrocodone and APAP, the abbreviation for acetaminophen. By looking at this label, can you tell how much acetaminophen is in each tablet of this medication? The label states hydrocodone APAP 5/500, which means there is 5 milligrams of hydrocodone and 500 milligrams of acetaminophen in each tablet. Here's another medication label example. NyQuil is on the left and Dayquil is on the right. Using the NyQuil information, how much acetaminophen is in each capsule? There is 325 milligrams of acetaminophen in each capsule of NyQuil. So what can you do to monitor your acetaminophen intake? This medication log can be helpful to track your acetaminophen usage. Simply write the time the medication was taken, followed by the medication name, amount of acetaminophen you took for that dose, and then use the last column to keep a daily running total. For example, at 8 a.m. I took 2 tablets of Tylenol that contain 325 milligrams of acetaminophen per tablet, which is a total of 650 milligrams. At noon, I took another dose of 650 milligrams of Tylenol. Now I'm up to 1,300 milligrams of acetaminophen for the day. This will help you visually see how much acetaminophen you have taken and help you keep track of the last time you took a medication. In conclusion, the main takeaway points from this presentation are to follow the FDA recommendations of acetaminophen usage. Do not exceed 4,000 milligrams of acetaminophen in a 24-hour period. Be sure to read all medication labels to determine if it has acetaminophen in it. Do not take more than one medication that contains acetaminophen. Finally, use a daily medication log to help you keep track of your acetaminophen consumption. Here's a little review. Please answer the following question. APAP is a common abbreviation of acetaminophen. The answer is true. APAP is used as an abbreviation for acetaminophen on medication labels. Here's another question. What is the daily recommended maximum intake of acetaminophen? The daily recommended maximum intake of acetaminophen is 4,000 milligrams. Here are the references for this presentation. Are there any questions? Thank you for taking the time to go through this presentation on acetaminophen usage.